Monroe County students won't go back to school next week as originally planned. The school board voted this week to delay the start until August 12th, and then all students will start online. Ethan Burks attended Tuesday night's board meeting and joins us now from the newsroom with more.
As you remember last week, the board pushed aside the idea of delaying the start of school, and board members seem pretty confident in the reopening plans that they have drafted earlier in the summer. But they changed course this week because they say the increasing number of coronavirus infections is a real cause for concern. At its meeting last week, the board decided to table any decision about delaying the start of school. Some parents and teachers were critical of the move and felt like the board wasn't hearing their concerns. This week, more than 100 parents and teachers showed up to protest outside the MCCSC collab before Tuesday night's board meeting.
Essentially, an overwhelming majority of teachers do not feel safe currently in going back face-to-face at this moment. So I think we are looking for at least a 2-week delay to kind of reassess.
2/3 of all the teachers say yes, we should be starting virtually. That doesn't mean that we said we want to stay that way all year round. Doesn't mean that. It means they want to start virtually until we know that it's safe to return.
The board's decision means all students will learn online until at least September 11th. The district will then form a committee that will evaluate COVID-19's impact on the community.
Over at Indiana University that could help us, scientists, we've got wonderful health professionals, we've got the Monroe County Health Department, and I asked them to join hands with us to try to come up with some metrics that we could use as a community to help us make that decision.
DeMuth says the committee will use those established metrics to determine if students can return to in-person instruction. Some parents who attended the board meeting don't think students should go back to classroom teaching at all.
If one kid dies this year, it could have been prevented. How many is too much? You know, why should we rush to try and get this back?
In the original reentry plan, parents were asked to choose between sending their kids to school or enrolling in the online academy. With the new guidelines moving every student online to begin the year, that independent online academy is now under a new format. So now, Ethan, could you talk a little bit about the reasoning behind that latest changes in the plan?
So like you said, in the district's first reentry plan that was approved in the summer, it was pretty clear. Some students would attend school traditionally in person, and then everyone else would be on the online academy. Now, with all the students starting the year online, this changes things a little bit. So first, let's start with the teachers. The original plan was for some teachers to teach in the school that they had always been teaching in, but then some of them would be leaving those schools to only teach for the online academy. So with everyone moving to online, those teachers now move back into their home to teach the students virtually. So that means the students that were enrolled in the online academy will also be going back to receiving instruction from their neighborhood school teachers instead of being part of that separate academy.
So I think a lot of parents are probably wondering what will happen if the district decides to send kids back to school, and then what would that mean for students who still want to continue online?
Of course, and that was a major talking point actually during the meeting Tuesday night, and something I've seen a lot of parents asking about on Facebook. So the district did send out a mass email saying if they do go back to in-person learning, an online option will be available for those families because they might not feel comfortable or safe enough sending their children back. Now, the district hasn't said what that online instruction would look like yet specifically, but that option will be provided. And that's where that September 11th deadline kind of comes back into play, because a team of educators and curriculum experts will then put together that structure for the online teaching. But again, that's all predicated on the district resuming in-school training, or in-school teaching rather, and as most things today, it could not happen. It just depends on the virus.
You know, I know other public school districts are having to change their plans on the fly, too, because of the rise in cases. How does MCCSC's strategy compare to some others?
Well, I think the best district to look at for that would be Indianapolis Public Schools. With that region having the most positive COVID-19 cases, they have to be kind of extra cautious in their planning. Right now, their plan is to also delay and begin online starting August 17th. And that district will also have a similar approach of evaluating the number of cases before sending kids back to in person. But they have also pushed their decision time back to October as opposed to Monroe County in September.
All right, Ethan, thank you very much, and we'll continue looking for more as the school year goes on.
Thanks, Joe.